It's the place to be, you're gonna get to know. Restaurants and movies appear, amusement parks and ocean piers, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City's face, a changing place, time to lead the way. You want to see the old become the new, remember yesterday. Rolling chairs and trolley cars, Ferris wheels and movie stars, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City star shines near and far, you can see its glow. You get some sand in your shoes, shells in your hand, it's the place to go. Beauty pageants and parades, cotton candy taffies made, boardwalk built and loved by families. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground.
That's one heck of a, that was the daytime. Here's the nighttime. Atlantic City was really flipped out at nighttime. Look at that.
And they got nightsticks and broomsticks and people were getting beat up all up and down the
A lot of
streets.
police. The nighttime was heavy in Atlantic City. There was 500 and some bars, all kinds of people, all kinds of partying going on.
Not too much has changed there.
These are a continuation of sort of like the cartoon cards or the cards that are looking at something. We showed this before, but it's actually about a theater show that was going on in the Nixon Theater, I believe, uptown.
Flip it.
And we'll go into another greeting card. That's what we're into. There's My Girl. I think that was the Temptations, right?
It's
Berries.
My little girl, yeah.
Right, that was something. These cards were bought up and down the boardwalk by many peoples and mailed back to where they came from to tell people what a great time they were having in Atlantic City.
Well, here's King Neptune here in the waves. King Neptune was the ocean as a metaphor, and here he is with his trident. Is that what it's called?
Well, the first Miss America pageant was on the beach, and he was the Grand Marshal, as I understand it. Atlantic City always was. Did you notice 2 pointers? Look, put that pointer up there.
Yeah.
2 pointers.
Yeah.
Twins.
Well, listen to this. Is that you before you shaved your beard off?
Yeah, that's before I got a haircut and a shave.
Okay.
And here's
That's how they
women.
went to the beach.
Women were in Atlantic City from the beginning, and if you could meet one, tried to get her out in a canoe, I would assume, probably in the back bays. It's from Atlantic City. But they came here in the Victorian era all over Atlantic City to relax in the sun. It was a health resort. These are some of the pastel cards that were given up, bought on the boardwalk all around. A lot of people come to the shore. A lot of women come to the shore. There's a lady in the water in the back. See where she's in the back. This lady here is lounging out on the beach. And that's what they did. That was the pastime, to lay out on the beach. So we'll go to more. As the guys got around, it got a little goofy. There's the guys trying to see a woman.
And the guy on the bottom says, "Go ahead and smack her, Dad. I won't tell Ma."
All right. Another turn of the century sexist remark there. Here's a beautiful card. Greetings from Atlantic City. Isn't that nice? You can pick up all these things. They came with little girls or little boys on them, with some little photographs in the back of the shore here, you see.
It's the way the children dressed, and this is how they played in the gullies in the water and all.
Right, and this is how the adults acted.
This guy's being pushed in a rolling chair. He's all zooped up. They got balloons. And
That was a great job.
what were these, parasols or something?
Yeah, there's still rolling chairs on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, and you can have a great time. And you tried to meet your lady. That's what it was about, to get under the umbrella at the shore. Pretty good. And then you bought cards that were already filled out for you. You just put the date and time in there.
Right, tells you what kind of weekend they had here and all.
Right. Place got exciting with beer and pretzels. Didn't make the song of the 60s, though, right?
It says, "Come to Atlantic City with its boardwalk by the sea, where all the gay attractions now are beckoning to thee." Yeah, it just goes on.
Another
with
little cute thing.
This
Here's
guy's
a
got a problem.
guy that thought he had problems in Atlantic City, the utter truth of it all. Think you got troubles? He was down here. These little cartoon cards. There's a skunk. He's grooving. He's grooving. Just a line to say hello from Atlantic City. Here's another one. He can't swim, but he knows where all the dives are. Atlantic City had 500 and some bars, and it was frequented by many people. There you go.
And she say, "I'm enjoying the breezy weather that exposes the limbs of trees, but the wind I like much better exposes my limbs and knees." Crazy.
Wow, Atlantic City, there's a nice one. They came down to get away from the crowd, and there was the crowd. They came here to get away from it all. Then as the year has changed and it got more modern, they came up with these type of greeting cards that you could purchase on the boardwalk at card shops and etc.
This looks like they're lining up for a game of buck or whatever they used to play.
Leapfrog.
Here's a speedboat from Miss Atlantic City.
Yeah, leapfrog, that would be an essay over here, see?
Or leapfrog, right? That's
Leapfrog. Ocean, women, boats. Greetings from Atlantic City. This is how the cards won. Here's one I believe is really beautiful, and it really shows up on TV really nice. Look at that. Is that Greetings from Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Fantastic
Yeah,
place.
what do they start with? They start with City Hall, the Convention Hall, the high school, and I can't
Churches,
identify some like
public
the Haddon
buildings.
Hall. Beautiful.
Another great one. Fisherman on the side there, surfers, boats, sailboats. Another beautiful mosaic here. Look at that. Is that beautiful? There's the elephant. Train were in there. The War Memorial statue down there. Here's another one featuring Atlantic City. The surf, the fish hall, net hall, $1 Million Pier. Greetings from the different hotels. The Hotel Strand put up a nice greeting. Always put different landmarks on the cards there. You have 4 of the best. The monument, the convention center, the elephant, and the woman.
Here's the police station, the old Masonic temple. They're all in there. They've been in there.
Can't see that on camera, man.
Can't see it on
Let's move it
camera?
over a little bit.
Here it is, right down here. You can't see it that well. It's the police station.
Yeah, another dump. Here's a postcard of the women. I'm looking for you here in Atlantic City. And many clubs and organizations came to Atlantic City. Here's the Eastern Star Grand Chapter. Atlantic City in 1946. 1946, May 14th through the 16th of 1946. Fantastic sort of deal. Here's another greeting card from BPOE. I think that's the Elks, I'm not sure.
That's the Elks.
Greetings from Atlantic City, welcome. So that's pretty good. That's what we have left. We have, you can't beat Atlantic City as a drum. There it is, can't beat it. Can't beat Atlantic City, New Jersey. It'll beat you, there's no doubt about it. And we had an advertisement card that we wanted to show you. That's from the old pier. They used to give out them little pickles. That's Heinz Pier.
You used to walk out here, come all the way out to the side of the exhibit room and get a pickle. Leave with a
Fantastic.
pickle.
Around the turn of the century, right?
Right around 1900 to 1910.
Okay, well, we
Let's
found
talk-
a stack of cards from a guy named Ernie in 1911. Now, Ernie was a saxophone player, as I picked up on it, and what he did was he came here with his wife and stayed here at Virginia Avenue. And we're going to move this card just a bit so you can see it. This is Virginia Avenue and the beach. We want to show you the, what would that be called? The roller coaster.
If you look right here, you see a massive roller coaster system behind the Virginia Theater that they erected. And on the roof, you had carousels and amusement rides, and you went into this building, and there were exhibits all in here. And if you look, there's the roller coaster zipping up here.
2 roofs.
Down on 2 roofs. And this would be Virginia. This would be Maryland. This would be states. Like right here now, you have your showboat and your Taj
Here's
Mahal.
the Heinz Pier way
Heinz
out.
Pier is way up here on the boardwalk after you got up
And
here.
this roller coaster thing behind the buildings, that was nothing new. Across $1 million pier there was one.
Right, they were all on the city side.
On the city side of the boardwalk. Now this area here that we're showing on there now is actually this area before it.
Right, this is 50 or 60 years before the last shot. Here's the steel pier, which was open air. The breeze went right through
Lunch.
the pier. That became that long walk in the Music Hall Theater years
Where you bagged
later.
your lunch.
Right, upstairs. You bagged your lunch up in the picnic area.
WFPG was up in there.
Here's Virginia Avenue. This was the Islesworth. That's where the roller coaster system and all went in after they tore this down.
Well, all that was torn down. It became the big flat parking lot as we knew
That's
it.
right, Z Park.
Now, Ernie was a saxophone player, and he came to the resort through the Sousa bands, and he sent himself some postcards to keep himself familiar. Ernie and his wife, in 1911, picked this card out, but I want to show you how significant. John's going to tell you, what is the significance of this card at Virginia and the Boardwalk?
Oh, as you look at this card, it's pretty hard to figure out, but if you knew Virginia and the Boardwalk, this is it. The 2 main pavilions were right here. But if you look down further where you would approach the Garden Pier today, there's an apartment house right here. That was Keith's Apartments. He built on the ocean side of the Boardwalk, and the city came down and actually made him tear that down. Not had to come out of there.
Did not allow him to connect to the boardwalk. He had no permission, didn't go planning, didn't go zoning,
Nothing.
just jumped up there.
He just built it, but what happened was, is in their legal wrangling to get him off that side of the beach, he got permission to have the rights, the riparian rights for a pier here, which became Garden Pier.
Well, here's Hyden's Pier further back, but you can still see the apartments, I believe,
Right.
over here
You
in the
can see
corner.
his little apartments right over here, right here.
So
Here's
he's
the
still
Heinz
there.
Pier. Now, there was nothing above that. The boardwalk was back. It went back close to the city, close to Oriental Avenue.
Then there was the Auditorium Pier, I think, Young's Old Pier, which became what? The Steeplechase?
Yeah,
Or
that's
Central.
the steeplechase.
Steeplechase? Ernie played there. He says it right on his card. He played here
All week.
all week, him and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Potts.
Right.
And he was in the bands. And I think Ernie even stayed here at the many different names of the Mayflower years later.
Young's.
Young's, the Almanac. Number of different names on that hotel. That came down a few years ago.
This was Ocean Avenue and the boardwalk right here.
Here's that same pier we showed you just before where Ernie says he played here on September 25th, 1911 in that theater. He wrote the word theater on there so you could see where he was. He played here, and he had a picture of the boardwalk. He had his steel pier photograph.
There's
Must
his-
have played there too.
September the 25th, 1911.
Same day, Ernie was on a tear. He's got the picture of the boardwalk. with
Actually,
Dennis.
what you have here is Michigan Avenue and the boardwalk. They put another wing in front of the old Dennis right here. The square piece here was just put on. And here's
Ernie's-
the other wing, which later on in years, another one would go here.
Ernie's wife was named Mildred, and it's on the top of this card.
Mm-hmm.
See, we'll move this stack down a little bit.
There it is. It says Ernie and Mildred.
Ernie and Mildred were down at South Carolina, the beach headquarters there with a big crowd.
This was the beach tent. It's the main headquarters today. This is 1911.
Here's the boardwalk looking west.
Right, as you see Tennessee and the boardwalk again, this is Central Pier now. That's how it went
Ships
out there.
Pier.
Yeah, this was the beach from North Carolina to Tennessee.
And then we can go to the other side of that pier and look back uptown. And there's the crowd heading uptown
Right.
towards Auditorium Pier, say Michigan and up.
This here would be the Mayflower, which was really Young's hotel, which became Young's Pier. And then when he built the new $1 Million Pier, it was called Young's $1 Million Pier. But if you look at this here, you can see a big roller coaster track back here.
Oh, yeah.
If you look real close, you can see the tracking go up
Another roller
and
coaster.
down. Another major roller coaster was back in here. And if you look it over and know that this is the Mayflower, you remember the movie The Burglar in 1956 when Jane Mansfield and Dan Duray walked in this direction,
Right.
but then went into the steel pier, which you cannot
Right.
do, but that's the way they would film. They showed him coming
I
in.
recall when they blew down the Mayflower,
Right.
how that chimney went with it.
Right.
But this is early, still 1911. They had some time, as Ernie and his wife, Mildred, will tell you. If you could see this card in person, look at the dress on
Right.
these people.
Look at the mode, the way they dressed onto the beach. And they're all in the water out here, if you look. There's tons of people here. And this is the steel pier.
There's a nice boardwalk shot looking towards,
That's Arkansas. That's a $1 Million Pier.
right. Ernie was having a good time. And here's one of the best pictures of Atlantic City around 1911. Look at that.
Major shot looking west.
Where are we at here? Illinois Avenue?
This would be Kentucky. There's Schlitz, which became
Right,
the
Fralingers.
Fralingers. And there's the pavilion.
The boardwalk in the first part of the train bar there. Looking west towards $1 Million Pier. What a place. Some building. Here's that Steeplechase Pier again uptown. E&M Potts. We're in town.
See, what it was is, if you know the history, the pier actually started here when it was built and out. It was not allowed to be connected to the boardwalk. Then when they got permission to be the boardwalk, they would connect it like this with a sunroom.
Like you say, the $1 Million Pier was a great place.
Right there it is, not connected. You can actually see off the railing, and the pier is not connected. And then later on they connect it, and you were allowed to walk straight into it.
And the rolling chairs had places to park. Here's where the rolling chairs were all lined up for the guest of this major hotel, the Strand.
This was the Strand. Later on, we'll bring in pictures showing the 4 leapers that were up on this roof during a fire back in the
big fire.
50s that were going to jump.
Well, this particular place was enclosed and became Wolfie's.
That's right.
Big delicatessen.
They would sell you the Captain Starnes boat rides here, and you go down the ramp, get in a truck, and they take you out to the Captain Starnes.
And here's looking towards the Royal Palace. Is that what it's called?
That's Pacific Avenue. That's what you have. So this is probably, let's see, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island. It's probably Connecticut Avenue, looking east, with the lighthouse and the Royal Palace. People always say, well, where was the Royal Palace? We've always heard about it and don't know where it is.
Well, I have a
the
card
Royal Palace
that I can
was it-
slide in there.
was at Pacific and the Boardwalk. And here's one that we'll put in for you to let you see it.
Let me just reach in front of you.
And here's Pacific Avenue over here.
No, I want it to go the other way, but there's Pacific Avenue. There's looking up Pacific Avenue.
Here's the lighthouse back here.
Right
And
there.
this is Pacific and the Boardwalk, and this is the Royal Palace, and this is how they operated on the boardwalk.
Became Altman Park, right?
Right, Altman Park years later.
They all look the same.
That's the way it was. And there's the boardwalk out front with the rolling
Yeah,
chair
yeah.
ride and all the people.
They're heading towards the T-Jetty.
And they have 2 piers, a pier here and a pier here. And
This
the
is
Royal,
Absecon Inlet.
the Royal Palace land and beach was in front of their place, which is it. And this is looking to Captain Starnes. It's right down Main Avenue, all the way down to Captain Starnes there. Then you came around the boardwalk.
Yeah, there's Pacific Avenue again, looking west.
That would be the funeral parlor here and the Jitney Association there. That's how it would come about.
So, in that era of 1911, we
Now-
go way back where we don't know where that could be the Absecon Inlet.
It goes back far enough where there was no boardwalk and there was no property being built up or no construction.
It's not the Intercoastal Waterway there, right?
It's rounding around like Gardner's Basin on the inside, looking towards the city.
Looks like, yeah, right, that's wild. And then they always hit the beach real well in their family attire. Fully dressed there. It's like an afternoon.
That's how they went to the beach. They went down there like that. And the swimmers were one group and the people on the beach were another group. Look at this get up on this guy.
Yeah.
He's got...
And they followed the tides. If it was high tide, you went. If it was low tide, you didn't.
Here's the same shot out in front of the Royal Palace. And you can see going towards Main Avenue down to Captain Starnes right back there. This would be Brigantine in the background, what they call the Cove now, on that side.
Pretty nice. Still doing the leapfrog or...
The leapfrog thing, this guy's getting ready, here he comes, which turned into Buck Buck.
Yeah,
years
form
old.
of exercise. And the kids
Well, the girls.
down there.
This is the way the girls went down the beach. The guys went down the way you saw in the previous picture. And this is how they dressed.
And there were families. This was a family health resort. There's no doubt about that.
Here's the lifeguard boat in the back.
We get some old pictures here. There's an ad in this one. We don't know particularly what Xeno was, but it could be some of that Xena.
I don't think it got on camera, but
Here
there
it is.
it
I
is.
see it
And
right.
this is the way they lined the beach, just like this.
Xeno. Whatever that meant.
They're all in the gully here.
Beach chairs ran the line, the water line, like people do individually today. Well, there's beach chair concessions today, and they're more modern and better.
It's the same shot, though, all the time. It's from the steel pier, and there's Heinz Pier in the back.
Yeah.
Two apartments are gone.
That's the front of the Atlantic City, New Jersey. Whatever this means, 2 jacks and 4 queens.
It'll be a full house, right?
There's a full house,
You
right?
can see Heinz Pier in the background, and the way the woman went down and the way the guys went down. They went down in their
The guys were dressed to go into the ocean, and the women were dressed to stand on the shore.
Right.
Here, this could be inlet, back bay, could be anywhere.
Right, they're on a bulkhead here.
Can you see it?
I don't know if you can see it, but
They're
they're
on a
standing
bulkhead.
and diving off a bulkhead.
So check this in the back. Isn't that nice? Whew. Turn of the century.
Until they just sat in the water. They didn't get around the bathing suits for a long time after this, but they would just go sit in the water no matter what they had on.
Right. And line up under the boardwalk, near the boardwalk, was great.
See the apparel with the little dresses.
So here's the beach chair wood, where the canvas would be draped and lapped over. I think we've seen these people before, but they were up beach before. They're down beach now. Guys are doing their physical fitness thing. The women are down there joining them, laying in the gully. Remember the gully?
Yeah, the Holy Gully, baby.
The tide would come up.
Actually, the lifeguard boat
Is
is
he out
out
there?
what they call laying out. They do that between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You still do
And
that.
he's out there, and they still do it. It's part of it.
Laying on the beach, talking and blabbing and laughing about what's going down.
This is the side of the steeplechase pier as it came out.
A little bit of a tougher life.
Most of your things that you see where you think that people are lounging under the boardwalk, they're really not. They're underneath these square rectangles under the pier. That's how they would get out of the sun.
Whoop, excuse me. Pardon me. There you go. The kid and the dog.
He's got his dog.
That's everywhere, isn't it?
He's down the beach. They don't allow dogs down the beach no more.
Well, between May 15th and September 15th or something like that, they're not
Well, wherever
allowed.
the dog leaves, you step into it, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a nice place to do that. There's a woman diving into the beach. Whoop,
Into the beach.
into the beach or the bay or something. Never know where they're diving. Here's a group. Very nice photograph. Look at that. Like that one?
Yeah, I like the swimsuits on the guys. It's cute.
Yeah, well, everything's scaled down. And there's always something, we're always saying something must have been good to spank the women. I
They're always
don't get
spanking
it.
the woman in all these cards.
Wonder what they're trying to say. Taking a sun bath. Another group.
Right. They had
Yeah.
actually sling chairs. If you look at back here, the chairs were all somehow strung up on something so they could also swing. They were all contraptions and devices and stuff. So it's
All right,
pretty
check this one out now. Here's the lifeguard back here who supposedly has police authority, or did at one time. They brought the policeman and the inspector between the two women here. So what do you think was going on?
I don't know.
Some argument.
Here's the pier. Here's the steel pier, and the steel pier, what did they used to call it? Marine ballroom in the back.
Yeah. It's up around the 20s.
Mhm.
Got a little bit more stylish. And the whole crowd would hit the beach. I mean, a whole crowd, man.
It could be a whole
lot of
neighbor.
people.
It could be a whole neighborhood from Philadelphia or something. You never know.
Right. This is from Atlantic City. Another card. In a gully or back Gardner's Basin. Could be anywhere. And they used to do line dances back then. Put your right foot in, put your left foot out.
Macarena.
Go jump in the ocean. We're going to keep these postcards rolling.
She's sitting on a canoe. In the back bays, used to give you a canoe.
I hear you. Here's a guy, another guy with a dog, a little pit bull. They're getting along fine. Here's a guy faking it to get some help, some assistance. How's
Here,
that?
here they are sitting back in the shade under the side of the pier. You can see them back here. And this guy's out. He's out cold. He was reading. There's a book on his lap.
Everybody's having a good time in Atlantic City. And put your right foot in and put your left foot out.
So most of these in the color, these are actual photographs that were colored. That's the way they used to do it, to get the color in.
Right. Here's another photograph on the beach. They seem to be having some sort of a...
They're standing on the barrels or pieces of wood.
They're trying to stay up on in the water.
Right. You can see the pier out here. There it is. There's a crowd on it.
Physical fitness was stressed an awful lot, even by the city itself. And the people used to go down there and have a grand time. Check that out.
Right, that's Virginia Avenue and the beach. You see the Islesworth here.
In the back.
So that would be Virginia Avenue. This would be Maryland Avenue. Probably out 1903, something like that.
Well, do you think this is earlier? Whoa.
That's a lot earlier.
That's
It's the same beach. We've had it identified. It's Virginia Avenue and the beach. Here's the lifeguards over here.
Now, you said the canoes were back in the back bay, right?
Right, there they are.
Well, wrong. That's the ocean.
Yeah, well.
That's a wave. They're going out with canoes in the ocean. And even with boats, women pulling boats out. So we're going to keep on moving, showing you these beach shots. You know, you can pick these cards up at card shows at Atlantique or the paper show in Atlantic City. And there's what some people believe is a groin. Some people think it was a pier years ago.
That would be Illinois Avenue.
Right.
Illinois in the boardwalk. And here's the same shot from the other direction. Here would be Illinois in the boardwalk right here. And there's a large crowd in here. And these people must have been getting their picture taken. But you can see the boardwalk from maybe, let's say, what, Kentucky, west to the $1 Million Pier coming out here.
Here's that side of Virginia Avenue again, the uptown side. If you look real close, you can see the Nixon Theater and the Rudolph. The beach chairs we talked about down the beach, people in clothes, people in
Well, you
suits.
have Heinz Pier here. Then you have Keith's Apartments. He's still there. You have the Rudolph and the St. Charles and the States Avenue, Maryland Avenue. Now, what you got to envision here is you got to envision Showboat is right there. That's where it is, and the Garden Pier was built out here, and there's the Heinz Pier, which is gone.
All right.
Now, there's a closer close-up of that particular area, which you have. You can see the St. Charles right here. You can see it as the green roof comes back. It was a long, wide building. Then the Globe Theater got put right in here. And as you came across, this here property would be the United States Hotel property to Maryland Avenue, then from Maryland to Virginia.
Fantastic. This is the Chalfont side of that pier.
Right, this is now...
Wait, am I right there?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This here would be resorts right in here. That's where that went up. This is still here, this building here. It's just that this top was taken off, and if you can see it over here.
Here's the same shot a little better.
Right, a little closer. This lot is still a lot. It's a parking lot, the Chalfont Hotel. There's the Haddon Hall in here. This is Child's Pavilion here, and the main beach tent was put right in here.
And what street is that? Can anybody tell us? Looks like the Belmont.
Well, you can read here. This would be Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
This here says Sunray Drugs.
Remember that?
Right. Which is what street and the boardwalk? South Carolina Avenue and the boardwalk.
Here's the Chalfont looking west. Remember the stores fronts they used to have along these umbrellas there? I mean, awning areas?
Awnings were the thing.
Here's the earlier shot of the same place. No, that's making a turn, isn't it? Yeah, that's from the Chalfont. Right.
Coming down to the Central Pier at Tennessee Avenue. This would be Young's
Pier.
Right. Well, now it shifts.
Here's a nice water shot.
That's from that particular pier, looking towards, this is the steeplechase here. It stops about here, and the rest is Steel Pier behind it. But you can see the Strand right here, people that know Old Atlantic City. And the Haddon Hall is still a little cottage, exactly like the St. Charles was, the same type of building.
And sometimes there would be a gully, but outside of that gully further out would be
a sandbar. These people here by the droves found the sandbar. They must have been down there in the morning and tiptoed through the gully and got out there, and they did it.
Well, we only have a little time left. We're going to continue with beaches as we go on. We'd like to thank you for tuning in this week. We're each week, same time, same station, And we're glad to bring you these cards. You can purchase these cards at any antique flea market shows, Smithville, Delilah's, anywhere around here. And what we'd like to do is ask you to call your friends and tell them to tune in. John, you want to say goodbye?
Well, goodbye, and anyone who's taped the show, mail it to your local library or museum. That way, without a lot of effort, everyone can send a cassette to a library.
All right, we'll be back, same time, same place, next week. Thank you.
Take care.
New York has its lady, San Francisco the Bay, Paris has its tower, London its queen. The town I was born in might change from old to new. That's something I must tell you, I've got sand in my shoes. I'll never leave Atlantic City. I'll never go too far away. I'll never leave Atlantic City. On the boardwalk, the song, people come every day, taking the salt air, walk on its beaches, might ride in rolling chairs. When they look at the brand new, think of the old days, things they used to do. Atlantic City, my hometown, I won't forget Atlantic City. I'll never leave and